Hello, good afternoon, and welcome. I'm very pleased to be joined by Dr. John Massey. John Massey is leading our electrostate and energy security course, intelligence briefings, a monthly briefing. We'll deep dive into the areas around energy security and electrification, increasing electrification of our energy systems. And first up is going to be a very interesting talk and presentation around critical materials. So maybe John, if you can unpick what people should expect and what exactly are critical materials and what are some of the big issues around critical materials and what they are.
Yeah, thanks, Nat. Hello, everybody. So critical materials, people use the term critical minerals as well. I'm going to use materials. They're not, in some cases, they're not all minerals, if we're being pedantic, but it's what we're particularly going to look at is trying to, first of all, break down the ones that are most important from a energy perspective. I think the EU, when they did their last list, they screened something like 70 different candidates to come down to a list. Different countries and regions have come up with different lists and so on. So we'll try and break down what we mean by critical materials, and in particular why they're critical. A lot of people think about critical materials as being critical because they're not abundant, they're rare, they're difficult to find. That's not actually true in many cases. Some of these materials are pretty widespread. It's more to do with constraints on supply relative to demand, on constraints not just at the kind of primary resource point, but also in terms of supply chain, refining, manufacturing of those materials into specific devices like magnets and motors and that kind of thing. So we'll try and break down what we even mean by critical materials. We'll try and pick out which ones are of most relevance from an electrostate point of view. There are plenty that are relevant for things like defense and other kind of things. So we'll look at that. And then also, as I say, try to kind of look at things like the value chain and where the constraints are, where the bottlenecks are. And that will all kind of lead to being able to think a bit better about how countries might be, the things they might have to look at in terms of securing their own supply, the elements to which maybe they can't secure their own supply. But again, it's important to kind of understand the different aspects, I think, to be able to even address those kind of questions.
Yeah, yeah, it's quite funny. As you were speaking, I just remembered that this is actually your specialized chosen subject, isn't it? In terms of going back all those years back to your university days and I think your doctorate as well. So yeah, you must be in
Yeah.
very familiar territory.
Yeah, my doctorate's geology. So, I mean, we're not going to be talking so much about the geology as much about the business and so on. But yeah, it's interesting. It's like going back in time a little bit in terms
Yeah.
of looking at some of these things. Yeah, it's quite good fun.
Excellent. But it's happening pretty soon at the end of May, so we're looking forward to it. I'm sure it's going to be a great session. So everyone can sign up. The details are below. So many thanks, John. We look forward to it.
Okay, thanks, Ned. See everyone soon.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.